in the world who celebrate. Okay, so let me know if you're watching live or you're watching and recording. Go ahead and put hashtag live or hashtag replay. How to stay consistent is our conversation today. Okay, I'm gonna real quick get into social media, find myself, and let's talk. So again, if you already have tips that you would like me to mention, please do let me know in the chat, and I will do my best to include. I'm actually looking into my own life on social media. All right, folks. Well, thank you for joining. My name is Nadia Touch. I help you re-energize your body and life through transformation of habits in mindset, nutrition, and fitness. Today, we talk about how to stay consistent. You know, some days, like you, especially if you're a coach, you're thinking, what in the world am I going to talk about? This morning was one of those days. Sometimes the topics just don't come to you naturally. And I decided I'm going to look at what my members of Friends and Health group respond to me when I ask them questions. What are you struggling with? What will be the breakthrough? And I went through, I have to tell you honestly, I went through all your answers this morning. And the biggest tendency, we want consistency and motivation. Isn't it amazing? We don't need to know or learn more things. Well, sometimes we want to. And it's not knowing, it's actually being consistent with already what we know we need to be doing. Your answers were, how do I get that sugar addiction? How do I be on when I have my tight schedule? How do I put my workouts in? How do I stay with healthy eating? How do I stay consistent with working out from 3 to 5 days? You all had different answers. How do I keep being motivated to go in my journey? How do I lose and keep those pounds off? How do I be consistent in anything I already know I need to be doing? All right. So let's dive into this conversation. And if you like topics like this, please join our Friends and Health Facebook group, join my newsletter. You can go find it under coachingbynadia.com/subscribe. And more than anything, if you feel that this is your topic and you just want to dive deeper and really discover personally what it is for you, how your journey needs to look like, please do schedule discovery session with me. I posted the link into the description and it should be into the comments of this video. Thank you for watching. All right, how do I stay consistent? So first of all, as I mentioned, it's not like I need to learn something new to be consistent. Like if I ask you, do you need to know something else to be consistent? Your answer probably is not. I already know what I need to be doing. So it's how do I find, it's really not how, but finding the ways, the non-negotiable ways that work for you and stick with them. So this is the main point of the talk. If you have no time, this is it. Is finding the non-negotiable ways that are your ways that work for you and really stick with them. And it may take time finding the ways because my ways may not be your ways. So whatever you hear from me, I may speak on behalf of me and the clients I teach and train with, but it's your discovery, what works for you and sticking with those ways. That's why if you feel like I just want that personal conversation, feel free to schedule the discovery session and let's do it just for you. So 3 major points. Let's go. Number 1, really be clear what it is that I want to be consistent with. Like for me personally, I will say just to be consistent with already my healthy actions. I know what they are. I know I need 8 hours of sleep. I know I need my green salad at least once a day. I know I need my at least 5 days a week of workouts. So I want to be clear what it is that I want to be consistent with. Clarity is everything. If the brain doesn't know, the brain doesn't know. We are here about training the brain Therefore, we are here about learning the habits that we already know we want to have. You've got the healthy habit that you want to be with for the rest of your life. So let's be clear on that. And really, I invite you to write down, not just listen to me and forget when you multitask, but sit down and write down what are the ways, number one point, that already work for me. I'm all about not switching 100%. Let's not flip anything over. Let's just find the ways that already have been working for you and write them down. Also, really important, the ways that have not been working for you. You know, sometimes you eat healthy food that is commonly healthy for majority of someone, or you read it in the article, but it may not be your food. Maybe sleeping 8 hours a day is not your way. Maybe 7, 6.5, as long as you wake up rested. So being very clear what works and what doesn't work. Okay. And again, as I mentioned, I would actually split them. What is non-negotiable? We talked about this recently. What are non-negotiable ways that I want to stick with? Okay. And let's find one. So here's the key, point number 2. One way that you know that you want to practice per week, per 7 days. I'm not going to take several on, especially if I'm just starting. One thing a week, it's like 1% a week, and practice it. Maybe you've heard it, perfection in practice or progress. Well, I'm going to say perfection is in practice. Sticking just with one little change at the time and practice it to the point where you start noticing it becomes who you are. It's becoming your habit. I take 7 days minimum to practice this one thing. It's just easy also to remember. Okay, from Monday to Monday or from Sunday to Sunday. And then we're going to stack those habits. What is another 1% I can add to it? So if my first percent, I'm just exercising 15 minutes before bed. I'm going to turn all electronics off so I can go to bed. I'm going to do that for a week. The next week, I'm going to ask me, okay, so if I did that, what else can I add on top of it? So we are stacking healthy habits on top of each other. If you want deeper conversation, that will be probably online individually. But let's move to talk a little bit about number 2. This is also a very crucial key when we practice. So here's what we normally do when we practice. We wait to be inspired, and we wait to be motivated. We wait for something. Where is it that we are waiting for? Folks, Mel Robbins, the 5-second rule author, clearly described that there is no motivation. If you can't touch it, you can see it, you can feel it, it doesn't exist. It's the term we created to describe procrastination. That's what I'm saying. Let's not wait to be inspired or motivated. Let's just do it. Speaking of Nike, and practice. Practice helps our brain remember the habits that we want to establish. 1% every week. It will be like this, I guess. Okay, we got that? So let's move to number 3. This is a quick overview. What's the expression? What doesn't measure doesn't exist, something like that. I'm talking about tracking the progress. I want to track how I'm doing. What do I do with that? I want to sit down at least, let's say, once a week or once a month and really reflect how far I've come. I want to reflect by acknowledging myself, by celebrating the wins. And really important, celebrating small wins. We're so trained to chase the carrot and then be happy when I reach that big thing, but we are not trained to celebrate the small wins every step of the way. So what I do when I track my progress, I celebrate myself, my efforts. Here's what I want you to do. Here's 7 days later. Here's how far I have come. Even if it's 0.5%, it's still a progress. And the only I can see and acknowledge that progress when I slow down and celebrate it. And folks, this is it. How to stay consistent. Number one, really know what you're aiming towards. What do you want to be consistent with? Know what's working, what's not working. Design your non-negotiable ways that are working. Number two, practice. Forget about inspiration, motivation, and all that thing. Just do it. Just practice. And number three, track your progress. Acknowledge and celebrate small wins. And remember, our ultimate goal when we do this, every day we travel towards re-energizing our bodies, re-energizing our lives with healthy habits that become who we are and what we do, become our part of who we are, our identity. So if you wanted to have a deeper conversation designed just for you, please schedule a discovery session with me. I put it into the description and into the comments of this video. And before you go, please let me know how this message resonates with you. What's the main point that you're taking away from this conversation? And I can't wait to see you more. Please let me know how this message resonated with you. Schedule your discovery session, and I will see you in the community.